This is part one of a video series to show you how to magnetize your bases. This can come in very handy if you don't like all your troops jostling around, especially when you're moving them from place to place, if you're going to play a lot of games that aren't at your own house. It also just helps if you want to just navigate terrain. Sometimes when troops are on a hill, they tend to slide off or slide around. So I find it keeps them nice and ranked together. Here's an example of what we'll be making here. This is a unit of 20 hobgoblins, and they have all been magnetized to their base. You can see you can almost turn them right upside down, and they won't fall out. But they're not so hard that when you pull them, it's going to rip apart the model. The magnetic connection won't be so strenuous that you'll be breaking your models when you're taking them apart or taking them off the base when they die. So here are the supplies you'll need if you're going to be doing this conversion. Part of the attraction of doing this myself instead of ordering some kit online is that those can be extremely expensive, and really the tools I have here are very inexpensive. You can get a bunch of strip magnet. It usually comes all coiled together. I got most of my supplies at the dollar store, so you can get a bunch of this magnet just for $1. That's what we'll be using to put on the bottom of bases. Now this is just sort of sheet magnet. It's usually for putting pictures, and then you maybe put them on your fridge. I've got a sample one actually here, what the package looks like. Again, I got this at the dollar store. It's an arts and craft type of thing. What this is for putting on on the bottom of your movement trays, and that way it can stick into your case. You'll see if I put this against the sheet metal that I have and turn it sideways, it'll stay completely on. So that's what it's basically for. You have a sheet metal lined carrying case, and when you put your units down, they'll stick right in place. The sheet metal I got at a hardware store, Home Depot. I think these were something to do with roofing. You can see they're like angled, they're like corner brackets or something. But they're actually a brown painted, which works out very well since my unit bases are normally brown as well. But the sheet metal, yeah, itself, these were I think $2 each, maybe slightly less. So that's really all you need is the strip magnet, sheet magnet, strip magnet there, and your models. And you'll also want a movement tray of some kind for your guys. Okay, I think we'll have enough time to actually get started here in this video. The first thing I'm going to do is select a unit to use that I want to magnetize. So I've got here a unit of 10 chosen warriors of chaos that I've converted. So I've already created their movement tray. As you can see here, it's just I've just cut one in half and then glued it together. And the first thing I want to do is I want to get the sheet of metal cut to the right size so that it can fit inside the movement tray. So I'm going to grab my magnet here. The tool I use to cut this is it's sort of a metal shear cutter or something. I don't know too much about it. Again, found it at the Home Depot hardware store. I think it was about $15. But it's quite good for cutting metal. So I'm going to take my okay, I've already cut out essentially where I want the lines I've drawn here, where I'm going to cut slightly inside them. These tools are pretty good for cutting straight. You don't have to worry too much. But let's see if I can get some better light here. So this is going to be on the underside of all the troops. You can barely ever see it. What you want though for a good strong magnetic connection is some really ferrous metal. You might want to take take a magnet to you when you go to a hardware store and just see if it's a sufficient enough hold, and it's gonna be effective for your troops. So basically, I've cut out, and it's gonna fit right inside there. You're gonna want to probably place the parts with the serrated side, where you're not gonna be handling them. You can see I've cut it, and it's actually a little too big on the one side here. It's sticking out a little bit. You don't want to run your finger along that, so we're gonna trim that up a little bit if we can. So that probably should do it. Now it's going to fit right inside there, nice and snug. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to super glue that down. And that's it. That's all there is to step one. Stay tuned for part two, and we're going to magnetize the troops.